In our business focus this morning, Cineplex Odeon. A few years ago, you probably wouldn't have even heard of the theater chain, but today the Canadian-based company dominates the exhibition side of the movie business, and as Prue Sowers reports, the company's founder is becoming a power in Hollywood as well.
Going to the movies isn't what it used to be. According to many people, it's actually better, with cleaner, more comfortable theaters and improved projection and sound. That may be due in large part to Garth Drabinsky, chairman of Cineplex Odeon, one of the largest theater chains in North America.
We have been the catalyst for an entire re-examination of theatrical environments. I've always believed inherently that film going is just a vital part of the social fabric of North American society and will remain so.
Cineplex Odeon has over 1,800 movie screens in the U.S. and Canada, and the company expects that number to grow to 2,100 in the next 2 years. Most of the theaters are decorated in the trademark pink and purple color scheme, which Drabinsky personally and deliberately chose.
When you walk into McDonald's, they have their own trademark, and when you walk into any other national chain that's recognized and achieved goodwill, I mean, they have their own pride and their enthusiasm in their employees, and we've tried to inject that into our people.
There may be growing trouble at the box office, however. Admissions to U.S. movie theaters have been stuck at about $1 billion a year for almost a decade, while the number of movie screens have gone up about 25%. The overbuilding of theaters has cut into the profits of some chains, and new home entertainment technologies have also had an effect. But Drabinsky thinks the worst is over.
I believe the industry has finally paid for every color television set and every pay cable service and hookup and every VCR that exists.
Cineplex Odeon has also been diversifying. It now has major interests in movie production and distribution and is a partner with MCA in the new $500 million Universal Studios complex in Orlando, Florida.
There are cycles in every business within the entertainment industry. Not major cycles, but it's good to have pockets of activity to draw from at times when you may have a blip in the business.
With the growing globalization of the entertainment industry, Cineplex Odeon may have to grow even faster in the future in order to compete with the host of international giants like the new Time Warner Combine, which are coming to dominate the industry. Prue Sowers, This Morning's Business, New York.
From saving banks to saving a theater, the last bag of popcorn and the last box of bonbons may have been sold at the Admiral Theater. All indications are that when the movie that's running right now rolls The End, it really will be the end of West Seattle's only movie theater. Tonight, movie patrons protested. The historic Admiral Twin was purchased by the giant movie theater chain Cineplex Odeon out of Toronto, Canada. Protest organizers say they've been told by company officials that the theater will close and that Cineplex Odeon is looking to build a new giant multiplex theater somewhere else in West Seattle. But these theater lovers want to save the 47-year-old movie house. They say the Admiral's nautical theme, from its seafaring name to motif, fits West Seattle.
It was really built to look like a ship, and so it's unique, and it's the kind of a thing that's so big and so different that it's become a landmark.
The protesters hope the city agrees with that and designates the theater as a historical landmark.
Protesters are trying to save a landmark, the Admiral Theater in West Seattle, but their efforts may be too late. The last picture show was tonight. Pickets normally are angry about what's on the marquee, but this time the protest is over the fact the marquee is about to come down. The Cineplex Odeon Corporation reportedly is shutting down the movie theater and putting it up for sale. Some of the demonstrators say it's ironic the film Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is showing.
Suppose we try this. We find a woman, set a price, and the first man to extract the correct amount from her wins.
They're not doing anything wrong, but they're just being extraordinarily insensitive, as all the honking and all the marching tonight, I think, demonstrates.
Are they dirty, rotten scoundrels?
I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
Thank you.
Cineplex Odeon is a Toronto-based company. No one at the theater tonight would comment about the closure or the future plans. Reportedly, business has been down and plans to expand have been scrapped.
We just want it saved. It's a beautiful building. It's one of the biggest, oldest, most unique private landmarks in West Seattle. It's the kind of a thing that people love.
The Admiral has been here since 1942. Another theater stood on the site dating back to 1912. The protesters can't believe the final curtain is falling.
May I say something here? Of course.
Are you kidding me or what?
Keep the Admiral afloat.
Well, demonstrators say they're going to appeal to the City Landmarks Board to have the Admiral Theater declared an historic landmark. And by the way, many of those pickets dropped their picket signs and later went into the movie for one last time.
Well, a group trying to save West Seattle's Admiral Theater crossed the first hurdle in its effort to preserve the old movie house. Tonight, the City Landmark Preservation Board nominated it for landmark status. Cineplex Odeon shut the theater down last January and has it up for sale, but the Save the Admiral Committee says the 1942 structure is irreplaceable. It'll take the committee at least 3 months before it votes on whether to send the matter to the City Council for a vote.
To save West Seattle's historic Admiral Theater is heating up. Today, the city's Historic Preservation Board accepted the nomination of the theater for landmark status, and will decide later this spring whether to make that status permanent.
When the Admiral Theater opened in 1942, it was billed as Seattle's finest theater. It was certainly one of its most unusual, featuring a nautical theme inside and out, with portholes, a crow's nest, guardrails, and marine-oriented artwork. You can still see signs of the theater's faded glory today. To people like Clay Eels, president of the Southwest Seattle Historical Society, saving the Admiral from the possibility of demolition has become a sacred cause, ever since the Toronto-based Cineplex Odeon theater chain closed the building in January. Eels and others are hoping to convince the city to grant permanent landmark status to the building and to convince whoever buys the building from Cineplex Odeon to preserve its historic features, no matter what business moves in here. Eel says he and others are not obstructionists who want to save the building just for the sake of saving it.
Oh, no, this is a very positive effort, and we've been wanting to work with either Cineplex or whoever they sell the building to. We want to make this thing work. The last thing that we're after is to have a big empty building that just sits there unused. We just want to see the historical integrity of the building preserved, and would like to work with whoever's the owner.
Eel says support for saving the Admiral is strong. He points to buttons which have sold by the score to fund the campaign. And he says thousands of West Seattle residents have signed petitions supporting the Save the Admiral drive.
The 4,000 signatures we've gathered in the last 2 months are testimony to the fact that there's a strong emotional attachment to this building. And if the Admiral were to be demolished, it would just break a lot of people's hearts.
So, Clay Eels and others are working to make sure that that does not happen. A local spokesman for Cineplex Odeon says because the Admiral matter is under review at corporate headquarters in Toronto, at this time there can be no comment. In West Seattle, Jerry Kemp for the 10 o'clock.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I forgot that. That's, you know, they did. It was going to be. Take care.
Well, this was
Good luck.
great. Thank you.
You know Lloyd Swanson?
Oh, yes. Hi, Lloyd.
Lloyd Swanson.
All right, you guys, we have more buttons. When you run out, go to the car and start loading yourself up. You want some in your pockets now.
Who's going to take the murals? Let him tell you. He's just telling me. You're going to have to give the command. Yeah, but they know I need to know what to do. What? Yeah, that's better. Then there's no you guys. circle. I gotta run. See, when we get to the junction, we can do this, and they're gonna yell. All right! We did it! Yeah! Anybody want to buy Admiral Button? Save the Admiral! You can really hear the music. Let's do it.
Bumper stickers. Save the Admiral bumper stickers, $1.
Yes?
Okay. Stickers, pins. Save the Admiral cause, $1. Mary? Want to go back and push it? Jack, I'll follow you.
Give us an R! R! Give us another A! A! Give us an L! L! What's that spell? Arrow! What's that spell?
Arrow!
Give us an A! Give us an L! What's that spell? What's that spell?
Reopen the Admiral Theater! Movies! How many people go to the movies?
All right. Just give us a little space between us and the car. They won't see us otherwise. Now! Give us an R! Give us an A! Give us an L! What's that spell? Save the Admiral! Louder! This is the Late Late Show.
It's our band. Thanks, Brady.
No!
Oh, you guys are wrong.
I think downhill is Sir, are you for the Give us an R! Give us an A! And give us an L! What's that spell? Save the Admiral!
Shut down by owners for 6 months and has been declared a Seattle Historic Landmark due to the efforts of Save the Admiral Theater Task Force. Our goal is to reopen the theater. Thank you for all your hard work.
The Dorsey band again, and here's one for you. Let's jump to, well, get it.
And you know those pictures are all pictures that are in the Admiral Theater. Very familiar pictures there.
Everybody, give us an A! Give us a D! Give us an L! Give us an I! Give us an R! Give us an A! Give us an L! What's that spell?
And next we have...
They are sanding and painting the old Admiral Theater, getting it ship-shape for the grand reopening. A 50-year-old landmark that once looked lost, headed for the wrecking ball.
The community loves the theater. There's a real strong attachment to the theater by everyone in West Seattle.
Clay Eels was part of the grassroots effort to preserve the place, the only movie house in West Seattle with its unique nautical motif. A huge mural of Captain Vancouver looms over the candy counter, while seahorse chandeliers light the lobby.
The whole interior design of that lobby, it's been told to us, was designed to look like the inside of the Queen Mary.
And for the first time in 20 years, moviegoers will see murals inside the theater itself, underwater scenes covered by curtains when the auditorium was split into 2 seating areas.
People just aren't used to coming into a theater that has an architectural theme to it and that says something more than just a little cracker box to go sit in.
Two classic films from 1942 will be rolling opening night, The Maltese Falcon and Woman of the Year. After that, second-run films of all types will show in this old seafaring setting. Chris Lagares, Cairo News.
I know, that's what we based on. You know?
But what time am I scheduled?
From over there before it went down?
No, not yet. We just did it. We've been working on all kinds of things.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
That's going to look nice with the red, white, blue.
Fantastic.
That's really
We're going to
nice.
go up and do this bottle thing, okay? So,
He said he'd go up to the projector.
no, I think I rooftop and tied on. Okay.
You're going up on the roof?
Yeah.
Go right now, but it's not that far away. Call them and see first. Tell them what the hell you got and ask them. They supply probably 90% of the people, so they can tell you who might have it. I hate to have some woman going out. Who's going to take responsibility for the reception? You got the two keys. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, as long as you got it. That the mast isn't up here, huh?
Yeah.
You can double it like this.
No mast.
Hey, this is the old mast guy wire.
Could be.
Yes, it was that. Yeah. Because
No, we paid for that.
did you hand down California Street? Okay, let's tie the bottle on.
That's a good shape compared to what it was, buddy.
Any last words?
It's worth it.
All first words.
It was worth it.
That's right.
And as Deb said, down the hatch.
Southwest.
Did they get that hooked up there?
Yeah. We're going to go down and...
There's somebody downstairs who wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay, let's go practice with this.
I like this now. Yeah.
Hey, you guys, are you guys the white truck?
White truck?
White truck?
The yellow one's right there. Right. Freeze what, this one will circle? I don't know. Well, that's what I'm trying to get at.
I told you it was plenty.
All right.
But
No,
no,
wait.
no.
It should be tied up like this.
Higher.
How do you mean? Oh yeah, I'll do that. I was going to start.
I gotta go find out whose truck this is. I see. Is that like
That's the concession person in there. What kind of champagne is the test one?
This is Cook's.
Cook's.
If you get out here, it's going to be even higher up in the air.
Well, they're tall.
Well, the thing is, what we talked about last night, we talked about them getting some sort of a platform, and we should talk to Cecil about.
Oh no, we'll probably drop the bottle so you can hold on the bottle or something.
Right. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. You think the plastic is confined golf?
We hope. That's why we're testing it now. Better now than
The
later.
problem is we're not sure it's going to break.
Go ahead. All right.
Okay.
Hey, that's great. No break. Didn't exactly contain it though, did we?
I heard him upstairs saying, you know, this could really run into a lot of money. I said, what do you mean could run into a lot of money? It already did. What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ.
And then they
Yeah.
said, well, should we go down and look at the boiler? I said, what do you want to look at the boiler for its historic significance? Because it's no longer in use. Oh, well, that's good. That takes a big load off.
Yeah. Those guys, one-track mind. All right, let me go get
This is Cecil Garden. He's been here since before this theater was built originally.
Are you saying, Jack, that he's a historic landmark?
That's right. He is the landmark. And whatever you do, you can't damage these overalls because he's been wearing them since what was that?
Actually, since 1927.
Okay. So we had these designated historic overalls. He tried to change them the other day and the landmark board wouldn't let him.
They can't be washed. They won't bend to go in the machine.
Hey, now bend over so we can get this.
We're just joking, landmark board.
You can see where it's wet down here.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Right up there.
Oh.
Big burst of foam. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Glass off.
So that'll work.
I brought shorts.
Well, people wear tux shorts. That's very old-fashioned.
All I have really is just kind of a sports outfit.
Yeah.
What are you working on now?
You always wear that on TV, right?
Oh, we don't need it. Oh, we got the wrong color.
Black.
We got black. I thought you said
You guys understand all you know about it?
You want to
try one of the ice cream?
In just a sec, but I want to get your opinion. You've already taken a bite.
I think it's great. Real good. Yeah, fresh.
Fresh.
Fresh ice cream.
Not warm.
Well, you hand dipped it. Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's dipping also, you see? My eyes. So they can see what thing they buy. That's really good. Yeah, they like it.
The operator.
Let's see you do one of these.
Okay. You know what the tip is now? You go, Clay, I got one for you. Yeah? How is it now?
Now, what's the distinction of this? You're the only guy in the state that's got these?
You bet. This is the only theater that we hand dip our own ice cream and chocolate. Eskimo pie.
They got 6 pictures going here. Which one would you guys see? You like that one?
I haven't seen that. I've seen everything else. I want to see Hood. Hood or Sergeant Six.
I want to see Radio Fly.
You want to see Radio Flyers?
Hi there.
Admiral?
Yeah, I'm with the Historical Society. Excuse me? Thank you. How does this thing work?
You're gonna film me, huh?
The Historical Society.
Oh, God, hold it.
Well, just describe how this thing's work.
This is a 1942 Sperry carbon arc searchlight. It puts out 850 million candle power. It's got a range of 10 to 20 miles, and it runs at 90 volts, 150 amps, 13,500 watts.
So,
and the last movie that this thing was premiered for, this was in the movie Tucker.
Really?
So yeah, if you look, there's about a 15-second shot or 30-second shot, and they're having a big Hollywood premiere opening the cars, and they got these two lights sitting in the background.
Can you tell me, given the position of where it is, where on the theater will the lights be shining? Show me.
You're going up, aren't you? I don't think the light will hit the theater at all.
Okay, where will the light go?
It does a 360 degrees around.
Okay.
It covers about a 10-mile radius.
Okay. So what angle will it be at?
About 45 degrees.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Tell me your name again, just for the record.
Paul.
What's your last name?
Butterworth.
Butterworth. Terrific. Star Searchlight Service. Is it just luck that we got a 1942 searchlight for a 1942 movie theater?
Is this really 1942?
Yeah.
I guess it is luck.
Okay,
So,
thank you. Okay.
Cut down a little bit, Dick.
Yeah, one up. Through the aluminum, did you? No. Thank you, Dad. I'll find out.
Sammy, what would you like to start on? You like a hot head with that yarn in it. Hello. Say, Sammy, who stopped this anyway? I mean, I don't want to be questioning them. I don't get it.
Well, this is Alec. See, Ashley's my wife.
What do you know? That's
You guys got to tell me your names. Go ahead. Lisa? Lisa Garten. Great. And you're Mark's daughter?
Yeah.
Great. And you are?
I'm Mary Kirk.
Mary Kirk.
And I'm Mike Kirk's wife.
Great. And you are?
Robin Garten.
And you're?
Wife.
Terrific. What are you doing here? Right at the moment.
We're saving the theater. Helping get things ready.
Great. What thoughts are going through your mind right now?
Pardon me?
What thoughts are going through your mind right now?
Well, just would like to get through this one evening. One evening at a time.
Great. How about you?
Nostalgic thoughts.
Nostalgic
about when I used to
thoughts.
come here when I was a little girl. And
Uh-huh.
just real thankful that this theater is still here.
Great. Great. Have you seen the murals?
No?
On the inside? You haven't yet. But you're coming tonight, right?
Yes.
Great. What are you looking forward to?
Watching them.
Pardon?
Says, watch them break the out on the side of the theater.
Oh, okay. The bottle breaking out there. That's going to be fun. Thanks.
Just gets rid of the last time to confuse you a little bit more.
Okay.
Now, you see this button that says error correct? That'll take off the last button to press.
only top part, about 3 feet or 6 feet and then beyond?
Yeah, about 3 foot here, and about 3 foot over here.
Okay. So I think set it on and then fix it later on. Right now, whatever you have, just set it on.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to get the sign up. We cut it off the floor probably within about an hour of opening. That's getting pretty close.
You the owner?
Yes, I'm one of the theater operators.
Tell me your name so I have it on the tape.
Jack Clark.
Jack Clark, thank you, Jack. Let's get it inside so we get away from the noise. I'm just going to that mask box.
That's the main feed we come across?
Yeah.
Two, please.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want safe moved over to the left. Hey!
It just went out.
Wait a minute, we want to move.
This is John Sharifi in West Seattle, where the historic Admiral Theater is about to reopen. At 6:30, we'll show you what's playing and what people are saying about the only movie house in West Seattle.
And West Seattle welcomes back an old tradition.
Como News 4 is coming up.
There is a celebration tonight in West Seattle. The historic Admiral Theater is about to reopen to a sold-out audience.
And Como's John Sharifi is standing by live at the theater to tell us all about the grand opening. John?
Well, this is the night so many West Seattle residents have been waiting for. There's a special ceremony going on right now. Mayor Rice is here. He's about to break open a bottle of champagne, breaking it against the wall of the Admiral building here. Now, the Admiral has been dark for 3 years, and in about a half hour, this theater will officially reopen. For the past several months, crews have been renovating the theater, fixing it up, getting it ready for tonight's premiere. The movie house will feature second-run movies and children's matinees. There will be different movies playing every night on the 2 screens. West Seattle residents are thrilled to finally have a movie house in their neighborhood.
It's been part of our lives for years and years. We're just so happy they saved it. Wonderful. I think it's a wonderful community doing, don't you?
Truthfully, I'm simply thrilled. It's about time that we finally had it. And it's cheaper than video. That's the best thing. And I can see it on a big screen, and it's better than a video. So I can walk down to the theater. I don't have to drive downtown and park. It's something we waited for out here for a long time, and we're glad it finally came.
Believe it or not, this is now the only movie house in West Seattle, and if it wasn't for the effort of the new owners who took an interest in saving the building, this building could have faced a wrecking ball similar to the music hall in Seattle. Now, the 2 movies that will be shown tonight are old classics, 1942 movies. That's the same year that the Admiral first opened. Those movies are Woman of the Year and Maltese Falcon. Now, there won't be an empty seat in the house. That's because tickets were sold out weeks ago. Back to you.
Well, we heard that one fellow say that it was cheaper than video to go to the Admiral. How much are tickets there?
Well, tonight they pay $5, but for that they get free popcorn and free soft drinks. but normally it's $1.75. You pay them $2, get a quarterback, and for that you get to see second-run movies that have been out for 3 or 4 months.
Hey, that's a bargain. Good to see they saved it. John, thank you very much.
It's a new beginning for an old friend. Tonight, West Seattle's Admiral Theater is being reborn, christened by Mayor Norm Rice. Hello again. Who says there are no such things as a second chance in life? 3 years ago, the Admiral Theater was destined to become a parking lot, but a petition drive was started to get the city to preserve the theater as an historic landmark. That happened. Ever since then, the owners and the community have worked together to make tonight happen. Karen Shomo gives us a look at this movie house classic.
The marquee says it all. The ship sails again. And in West Seattle tonight, this grand old lady is being launched into a future that is anchored in the past. The year was 1942. America was at war and patriotism was running high. As young men sailed off to World War II, West Seattleites sailed off too, in a vessel that architect Marcus B. Pratica designed to replicate the Queen Mary.
One of the wonderful features of the Admiral was the fact that it had a mast and a crow's nest on top. It was one of the things that helped make it look like a ship.
Clay Eels is part of a community effort that worked to preserve the Admiral Theater. He is also the unofficial theater historian.
The community loves the theater. There's a real strong attachment to the theater by everyone in West Seattle.
With the city of Seattle designating parts of the building as historical landmarks, workmen renovating the theater have had to navigate around some very old and unique fixtures that remarkably have survived the waves of time rather well. The lobby is still very much the same, with Captain Vancouver looking on. But some of the murals are gone now. Everywhere, the signs seem to point back in time, to the sea captains on the wall, to the peeling murals in the theaters.
The effect was supposed to be that you were underwater, and there were black lights from the ceiling that illuminated portions of it.
Today, the theaters are smaller. Before 1973, it was one theater with seating for 1,000, and furnishings were a little more elaborate.
The ceiling had all the signs of the zodiac in it, and people would come into the theater and try to sit under certain symbols.
And while many believe they don't make movies like they used to, they don't make projectors like they used to either. The equipment actually seems larger. Well, this feature presentation is almost over. Time to dust off the old Maltese Falcon and get on with tonight's show.
As a matter of fact, the Maltese Falcon is underway at this moment, the first of an old-time double feature. One of the people who's going to be responsible for keeping the audiences coming to the Admiral is Jack Clark. The owners won't be running this place. Jack Clark will be. He joins us now live from the Admiral. Jack, how's the evening going?
Going great. It's as good as was expected. We had a crowd that was very hard to control tonight. Very hectic evening.
What is it, Jack, about the Admiral Theater? What is it about an old theater like that makes people want to save it?
I think that people are kind of getting tired of this plasticky small mall theaters, and they like to look back on the grandeur of the older theaters. And I think that they kind of miss that, and they want to preserve it when it's there for them.
Talk about the renovation itself, will you? How long has it taken? How much time? How much money involved?
Well, it started in January, the renovation. As far as the money's involved, I really can't speak to that because the Gartons were the primary movers behind putting the theater in shape. We're just going to be operating it. We brought in all of our equipment, and the Gartons were responsible for doing all the remodeling.
What does this say about a community, Jack, that comes together, rallies around this theater, the community of West Seattle? What's it say about that area?
I'm absolutely amazed. We've opened several discount theaters in Vancouver, BC, and we've got one in Gig Harbor, and I'm amazed at the support for this theater. I've never seen it like that before.
I can't let you go, Jack, without asking you, what's all the noise in the background? Are they still doing some sanding there as we speak?
No, tonight we've got a spotlight that's showing on the sky reminiscent of 1942. In fact, the gentleman that put that there told me that that's a 1942 searchlight.
I don't think my cameraman could hear me. I'd love for him to be able to pull back a little bit and be able to see the marquee, perhaps, and you could point to some of the things for us?
Sure.
There we go.
By the way, we just got that up today.
You must be very proud at this moment.
Oh, this is exciting. It really is. This kind of crowd, we're hoping by running $1.75 movies every day that we'll have this kind of crowd forever.
Now, are they going to be first-run motion pictures?
We'll be running them approximately 8 to 12 weeks after their first release. Like tomorrow, we'll be showing movies like Hook, Silence of the Lambs. We've got My Girl, Radio Flyer. We'll be alternating movies on the screen, changing them once a week.
And this is at $1.75 a throw.
$1.75 a throw, all the time.
All right, Jack Clark, thanks so much for taking time out. Good luck with the Admiral Theater, and congratulations on a fun night.
You bet. Thank you very much.
Looks like they're having a great time over there in West Seattle. Well, the Admiral Theater has had a happy ending. Unfortunately, that was not the case for Seattle's Music Hall Theater, which has just been torn down. And now the owner of the demolished Music Hall is suing the city of Seattle. Al Clay says the city cost him millions by repeated delays in letting him develop that property. The federal lawsuit says the city ignored its own landmark preservation ordinance that had earlier cleared the way for the Music Hall to be torn down. First, it's time to test your news know-how. In tonight's news quiz, we're, of course, talking about the Admiral Theater. Its architect, you heard in the story a moment ago, Marcus B. Pratica. What other Seattle theaters were designed by Mr. Pratica? See if you have the right answer. Coming up as 7:30 rolls on. All right, time now to take a look at tonight's news quiz. It has to do with the Admiral Theater, which reopened for business tonight, designed by Marcus B. Pratica. We asked what other Seattle theaters were designed by Pratica. Here's a list: the Coliseum, the Orpheum, the Palomar, the Magnolia, and the Opera House. And that'll do it for 7:30. Thanks for being with us.
Up next on the 10 o'clock news, it's opening night all over again.
But now going to the movies means much more than before.
I'm Molly Mack. Coming up, a story with suspense, drama, and a happy ending, just like in the movies.
Champagne corks popping and old movies running just like they did 40 years ago.
The Admiral Theater in West Seattle has been saved from an almost certain death. Molly Mack is there now with the story of a landmark living again. Molly.
Kim, this celebration has been a long time coming. Now, the Admiral Theater was closed in 1989, and it was about to be torn down when residents here in West Seattle petitioned to keep it open. Well, after a long battle, they finally won, and all that hard work has finally paid off. Movies are once again playing here on the big screen. It seemed as if the whole community was here tonight. The Admiral lobby filled with moviegoers once again. And many had been here before.
It used to be matinees for the school. My oldest daughter is going to be 64, and my youngest is 54. They both went through matinees on Saturday. It was wonderful.
It didn't take long for the theater to fill up. Carol Vincent wanted to make sure she had a good seat.
When I was a teenager, my husband and I came into the theater, and this is where we started our first dates together, and it was really neat.
I'm told that not a lot has changed since the Admiral opened its doors for the first time in 1942. The colorful murals still decorate the walls, and the snack bar still does a good business. But popcorn will cost you more, and in 1992, you can also get a latte to wash it down.
Oh, I think it's great. I gave up my bingo tonight to come here.
In the projection room, everything's finally ready to go, and with a flip of a switch, the film starts to spin, and once again, the Admiral is back in business. Well, on the bill tonight was the Maltese Falcon and Woman of the Year, both big hits in 1942, but starting tomorrow night, this theater will be playing the big hits of 1992. Steve, Kim?
Molly, this has been an ongoing soap opera there in West Seattle for years. What really sparked the initial interest to get to save this theater?
People just have such great memories of coming here as children. A lot of people met their husbands and wives here. This theater has just provided so much entertainment for this community through the years. And when it came down to actually seeing this place be torn down, well, residents didn't want that to happen, and it really was just a grassroots effort to save this theater for future generations.
A lot of them remember necking in the back row, too.
Exactly, but I didn't want to say that.
Good night, Molly.
Good night.
A grand reopening tonight for West Seattle's grand old Admiral Theater. Admiral Rice was on hand to christen a new dawn of movie-going for the 50-year-old structure. Yeah, it took a little effort for the mayor, as you can see. But it finally happened. The mad landmark was once headed for the wrecking ball, but a grassroots effort saved its unique nautical motif to delight a whole new generation. For many on hand, the Admiral is home to many memories.
My mother, who is still alive today at 102 and a half, helped name the Admiral Theater. There were several who did, and I think they got a year's pass to the theater. So, you know, this is history to me. It's just great.
And that's the news. Glad to have it back.
Mom was a toddler herself. West Seattle's Admiral Theater celebrated its first opening night. Tonight, 50 years later, is its second. A searchlight rakes across the contours of the movie house, built to look like a ship. Its brand new marquee, just hours old, the final touch on months of renovations. Thanks, West Seattle, for saving the ship, which almost sank.
I'm excited. Hoping it's going to do well. I know tonight's going to go well. I hope the future goes well for the Admiral.
The historic movie house may have had no future if Mark Garton and his father Cecil hadn't bought it last year, 2 years after it closed. They spent plenty of time and money on renovations. The new marquee went up just in time for the reopening night gala, $5 for 2 classic films and all the popcorn you can eat. Now the sound and smell of fresh popcorn will fill the Admiral's unusual lobby, decorated with nautical murals. And the owners hope for crowds like this when they start normal operations this weekend as a so-called second-run movie house. They have one advantage. West Seattle has no other movie theaters.
I'm simply thrilled. It's about time that we finally had it. And it's cheaper than video. That's the best thing. And I can see it on a big screen, and it's better than a video. So I can walk down to the theater. I don't have to drive downtown and park. It's something we waited for out here for a long time, and we're glad it finally came.
There we go.
While moviegoers continued filing in, Mayor Rice presided at the Admiral's rechristening.
1, 2, 3.
What better symbol for a theater starting its second life than a bottle that didn't break till the second try? The Admiral's new owners are not theater operators by trade. The movie house will be run by a local company that operates other second-run theaters around the area.
You look great. Thank you. Hey, can I take this for just a second?
Take one. What is it? You're gonna take it?
Because
I
if
have my long gloves on.
it's okay for now.
Okay.
So, what year is this from?
This is Catahopper.
What?
1942.
1942.
1942.
Terrific. I'm giving it back to you, Walter.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
There you go. Now you're on.
All right.
All right.
Hello. Can you all hear this? Welcome to this wonderful celebration of the 50th anniversary and the reopening of the Admiral Theater. This will be a very brief ceremony, and there will be another one inside, a little more detailed. We've got to get this ship officially launched right here. And I'm going to introduce Mayor Norm Rice, who will say a few words before the launching.
Thank you, Clay. Thank you very much. This is a great, great evening, and I'm very pleased to see everybody out here this evening. You know, 20 years from now, I think when people write about the history of West Seattle, they'll talk about how a neighborhood came together to save the things that they really care about, to also make sure that this is a place that continues to be the best place to live in Seattle. How many times have we driven by or walked by and said, what a waste to see this place boarded up? But thanks to the leadership of so many people, and thanks to the dedication of this entire neighborhood, we can walk or drive by and say, what an accomplishment. West Seattle deserves a theater. Several theaters. Because you're one of the fastest growing areas of our city, with lots of families. You're home to 100,000 people, and there's no reason why anyone should drive across a bridge just to see a movie. But I hope the Admiral Theater and all the things you can do can point the way for other communities throughout Seattle, to make it be a place where you can walk to work, where you can dine, where you can be entertained, all within the area of your home, and I think make it an extraordinary urban village. So I'm proud to be here to help relaunch the Admiral, and we got to be careful. We don't want to make sure that the champagne bottle destroys this historic building. So I really want to thank all the people who've come together. I can't name everybody, but we know the people that we really need to name. First of all, Mark and Cecil Garden, the new owners. Jack Clark and Al Devastani, the new operators. And to save the Admiral Theater Task Force for all you people who've done a great job. Now that's the end of my 30 minutes, and I need to introduce the people who really deserve all the credit. I'd like to see Mark, the Gardens, come forward and say a few words. Come forward. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't see you behind me.
Okay. I'm lost for words. However, we do appreciate this turnout. We do hope and pray that this building will be a place of entertainment for the families of West Seattle. I'm glad you couldn't hear what I just said. That was planned. However, I do welcome each and every one in West Seattle to this facility, and I do hope and pray that every family in West Seattle will take this opportunity and future opportunities to be entertained in this establishment. Thank you.
All right. Well, in the famous words of the famous late-night philosopher, let's get busy. Are we ready? 1,
On behalf of the theater near you, we'd like to welcome you to the Admiral Twin Theater. It'll be reopening tonight, the first night that we're going to continue doing that. And after tonight, we'll be running more recent films. Usually they'll be showing around 8 to 12 weeks after they're released in the other first-run theaters. And the only difference between that theater and this theater, other than the fact that this has a tremendous amount of community support, is the fact that we'll be charging $1.75 for all movies. Other communities quite successfully, and we haven't had near the support that we have in this community, so we feel that this will be a tremendous success in West Seattle. We want to thank all the people that made this possible, and we'll start out by introducing Clay Eel, who's on the Historic Preservation Board for West Seattle. And did I get it right, Clay?
Close enough.
Okay. Let's give Jack Clark a hand. Welcome all of you to the 50th anniversary celebration and the reopening of the Admiral Theater, right? Right. And I'm one, of course, of the Southwest Seattle Historical Society. And the other two members of the task force are Deb Barker and Lynn Cornelius. They're the members of the steering committee, and you'll hear some from them in a little bit. But right now, what we really want to do is to recognize the other members of the task force who worked so hard and put in so many hours to make this night possible. Now, all of you who are on the task force, would you please stand up, and the rest of you, please give them a hand. That includes you too, Carol.
I'll shut it up.
Take a good big hand. Carol, come on. We know that there are a few others. Several of them are out helping hand out souvenirs and all of that, so they are out there working as we speak. We're just so glad to see you here and just glad to see a full house. It's amazing, you know, it's just like 50 years ago. 50 years ago on January 22nd, 1942, when this glorious theater had its opening night, this theater that was designed by Marcus Pratica. There were searchlights outside just like tonight, and every seat was filled just like tonight. Now, some of these aren't filled, but they've all got tickets attached to them. Anyway, we're so glad that you're here. We want to, at this time, just let you know who you are, because you're very important here. And what we're going to be doing is asking a quick series of questions. And the way that you'll answer it is by raising your hand, all right? And you raise your hand if you would answer yes. And we know a lot of you will be raising your hand a lot. These are very easy questions. Those of you who are not raising your hand, please give your applause to those who are. Now first, we want to know how many in here saw a movie ever at the Portola Theater. Raise your hand. All right. Give them applause. Give them a hand. All right, how many here saw a movie at the Admiral Theater in its first few years of operations in the early 40s? Oh, more hands. Look at that. Give them a hand. This question's even easier yet. How many here have ever seen a movie at the Admiral? Yeah, all right. Now, this one's a little more tricky. How many of you came to the Portola or the Admiral on your first date? Oh, yes? There? Yeah, more. All right. Now we're going to bring you up to some more recent history. How many of you, and I know there are some of you in here, how many of you were marching with us on the closing night of the Admiral Theater, January 29, 1989? Would you stand up, please? Take a look at these folks. How many of you here bought a Save the Admiral button or signed a Save the Admiral petition? Please raise your hand. All right. And this last one is the easiest of all. How many of you are going to come back and see movies at the Admiral after tonight? All right. Now you know who you are. We're going for this first show. So to do that, I'll be introducing Greg Herschel of West Seattle Helpline. He's a West Seattle resident. Greg?
three different hats here tonight. I'm here as a news reporter for Cairo News Radio. I've been interviewing people out in front. I was marching as well that night. I'm here as a West Seattle resident, but I'm most proud to be here as a board member of the West Seattle Helpline. More people have asked since the opening became promoted for this theater, what is the West Seattle Helpline? First of all, we are thrilled to be the recipient of the proceeds from tonight's benefit opening. The West Seattle Helpline for 2.5 years has been quietly raising money from the little coin boxes you see at the grocery stores and businesses in West Seattle, and through a staff of all volunteers has been helping the less fortunate in West Seattle, whether it's with their medical bills or food bills or advice on what agencies can help them. We're located right in front of the Admiral Thriftway store. Now you know who we are. We're selling the commemorative posters out there tonight. All the money goes to the helpline and to the Southwest Seattle Historical Society. And if there's anything that you would like to do to help the helpline, the number's easy to remember. It's We2HELP, 932-HELP. Thank you for helping us tonight inadvertently in this joyous occasion.
Thank you, Greg. Now I'll introduce Deb Barker, who will introduce the dignitaries who are so kindly here tonight to join us.
Okay. How are your hands? Holding up pretty well? There's a lot of people that you're going to meet who are really vital to the preservation of the Admiral Theater, and without them, it is true, there would be no Admiral Theater. You're not going to see all of them because some folks are here and some folks are next door, so we want, when you applaud, hopefully they'll be able to hear you applaud these folks. But all of them are going to deserve recognition, and we owe them our very, very deep thanks. First, we have the many elected and appointed public officials who made tonight possible. We ask those who are present in this auditorium, Pier 1, to stand when I call their names. And can you keep standing? And they are Mayor Norm Rice. Norm, are you here? Okay. State Senator Phil Talmadge of West Seattle. And without Phil's leadership and advice and action, we could not have done this. State Representative Mike Evie of West Seattle. State Representative Georgette Valley, who also represents West Seattle. Two County Council members, Greg Nichols of West Seattle. From the very beginning, you were out there holding picket signs with us, and for that we thank you very, very much. Seattle City Council member Tom Weeks of West Seattle. Tom, are you here? Former Seattle City Council member Dolores Sabonga. Dolores, you got your quick action. You got us funds early on to prepare the landmark nomination in a very rapid time. The former director of Seattle's Department of Community Development, David Mosley, who also lives in West Seattle. State Deputy Historic Preservation Officer David Hansen, who grew up in West Seattle. Seattle's Historic Preservation Officer Karen Gordon. Karen, there you are. Okay. And along with Karen, Seattle's Landmark Preservation Board Coordinator Beth Shaves. Both Beth and Karen made this effort work from the very beginning. There is a group of folks that we've become very familiar with over these past 3 years. They're the Seattle Landmarks Preservation Board. They have provided forthright, unanimous action, and their vigilance over the last 3 years brought the necessary time for a sensitive and a community-minded owner to come and purchase the Admiral Theater. Please join us in thanking Harold Tobin, Ann Fennessy, Michael Murrah, Dennis Anderson, John Beck, Tom Peter, Jan Dixon, Mary McCumber, Ron Brubeck, Charles Johnson, Brian Park, Susan Barley, Susan Boyle, Robert Weaver, Sam Combs, Toby Washington, Steve Kohler, David Streetfield, Walt Freisinger, Linda Larson, Horace Boxall, and Tom Hammond. Give us a big round of applause for the Seattle Landmark Board. Okay, but who are the folks who really have their money on the line here? Well, they're the real heroes of this story. These are 4 guys who were only just a dream to us a few years ago, and now they're here, they're flesh and blood. They deserve the biggest applause of all. I'd like you to join me in welcoming the Admiral's new owners, Mark and Cecil Barton. theater near you. All right. I want to tell you real briefly about some exciting developments our Historical Society is launching, and I'll turn the microphone over to Lynn.
When you came in tonight, you were handed a souvenir postcard, a souvenir bumper sticker, and a slip of paper that looks like this. And this is the beginnings of the Admiral Theater Restoration Fund. This is money that will be placed in the Southwest Seattle Historical Society coffers to begin collecting money that will be available on a grant basis to the owners and operators as they choose to repair and restore the unique historic features of the Admiral Theater. And as you can see, these remarkable old murals are all long behind the curtain. All these last 15 or 20 years are still remarkably intact. And we hope one day to be able to see them restored to their near full glory when they were originally made. So if you get a chance, please either fill out, put your money in an envelope and mail it to us, or drop some money at the table as you're leaving. And thanks once again. I'm going to just turn it over to Clay now for a few closing comments.
Thank you, Lynn. First of all, a couple of practical notes. There's a bunch of you standing back there. Come on up. There's empty seats here. I know that you've got tickets. Secondly, when you leave after tonight's show, please leave through the side doors. The timing on these shows is really tight, and by you leaving by the side doors, it will help the people who are coming in after you. They will be waiting in big lines out there. And what I wanted to do is, we want to leave you with a final thought, and it relates to the theme of tonight's evening, which is the ship sails again. And this is a wonderfully historic occasion. It's a time of real joy and a time of promise and optimism. And, you know, any ship needs a good crew. A ship's no good without a crew. And the crew is really all of us here in the West Seattle community and beyond. And this community worked so hard to work for a promising future for this building. And that can happen, but it can only happen if all of us join in and support this theater. Now, the people you've met tonight, the owners and the operators, have put their hearts and their pocketbooks into this full bore, and they are doing their best to make this the kind of place that you want to come back to again and again. And our obligation as a community is to return the favor in kind. And starting tomorrow night with an incredible slate of 6 movies, we'll get that chance. It's important to realize we're not just preserving the past here. What we're doing is we're making history, and we're bringing history alive, and we're ensuring a future. And I got to say it, those of you who've driven past the marquee all these years, that's not all, folks, okay? Thank you for coming. Thank you for helping to save the Admiral. On with the show.
On behalf of a theater near you and the Admiral Theater Twin, we'd like to welcome you to the grand opening showing. This has been a long time in coming, and we're very happy to be here. My name is Jack Clark, and this is my partner Al Davastani. We'll be operating this theater, and slight misconception, I think, in terms of, since this first night is going to be a 42 vintage movie, that people are thinking that's what's going to be showing here. But typically, we're going to be showing movies that are current movies that are usually about 8 to 12 weeks after they've been released in first run. So the only difference between our theater and the other theaters will then be that we're going to charge $1.75 admission. We've done this in several other locations, and we're successful. And in doing that, we didn't have near the support that the Admiral Theater had when it first opened, or when it was announced that it was first going to open. So we've got tremendous anticipation for what's going to happen here. We hope that we're going to be a good thing in this community and that we'll be responsive to the community's needs. We didn't cover this wall on purpose because we felt that the people should see what the original murals did look like. That will be probably covered in the next month or so, because the acoustics when this mural was first put up there were not really a consideration. But people's ears have become tuned to sound that you don't get when you have the wall exposed like that. So over the next month, we'll be getting new drapes and redraping it. And the Historic Society has talked about preserving that at some time, and that's a possibility. But right now, I'd like to introduce my partner, Al Davastani. And this isn't the Academy Awards, so I hope he doesn't thank everybody in the world. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jack. My partner said everything, so I'm going to make it real short. I'd like to thank the people that specifically helped us to put this project together. Namely, I'd like to thank Janet Birchfield. She was the cause of introducing me to this property. I have to thank her. And Bruce Burns afterwards. I'd like to thank specifically Mike Kirk, Mark Cardin, and Cecil Cardin. They really helped us to put the project together. We are fortunate to have the best booking agency in Northwestern, namely Northwest Diversified, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Ben Hanna and Victoria booking the best movies for us. Yeah. And I'd like to thank my Bay Theater manager, Bill Schreib, who really helped a lot on this theater, Admiral Theater, to help us here. And also I'd like to thank Mike Davis, who is my district manager at the other theater, and he really worked hard, and you can see the result, what he's done here. So I make it short here, and thank you very much for everybody. I'm proud to be part of this venture, and our promise is to give you the best movie and the best service possible. Thank you very much. I'd like to ask Clay Yales to go over with the rest of the story. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. All right. Those of you who are in the back, come on down. You got to have a seat, and there are seats up here. We want to welcome you. This is the second show of opening night. You're going to get the same ceremony as they got over there, so you're not going to get anything shorter. We want you to know, maybe that's not a good thing. We want to thank you for coming. You remember, this is the 50th anniversary celebration of the reopening of this theater, and thank you very much for coming. My name's Clay Eels. I'm one of 3 members of the steering committee of the Save the Admiral Theater Task Force of the Historical Society here. And the other 2 steering committee members are Deb Barker and Lynn Cornelius. You'll be hearing briefly from them a little bit later. But right now, we want to recognize the other task force members who put in so much time and so much hard work to make this night possible. And there's some of you in this crowd. Please stand up, and the rest of you, give them a warm welcome, okay? Task force members, don't be shy. There. And Carol Benson. You know, we're glad you're here, and we're so fortunate to see a full house here. When you really think about it, tonight is just like 50 years ago. 50 years ago, January 22nd, 1942, when this glorious theater that was designed by V. Marcus Pratica opened, we had searchlights going outside, and every seat in the theater was filled. And even though we have some empties here, they all have tickets attached to them. Believe me, this sold out in 4 days, if you believe it. Anyway, you're the key to all of this, and so we just felt it was fair for you to get to know who you are. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to ask you a short series of questions. And if you can answer yes to one of these questions, you raise your hand, okay? And those of you who cannot answer yes to the question, please give your warm applause to those who do. Now the first question, these are easy questions. A lot of you are going to be raising your hand. First question is, how many ever saw a movie in the Portola Theater? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yes, there's about 10 or 20 back there. Give them applause. Some of you may know that the Portola was right here on the Admiral site. It took up the same building that is now the lobby, and it was between 1919 and 1942 that it stood. Now, how many here saw a movie at the Admiral Theater in the first couple, 3 years that it was open in the early 40s? Oh, I see the hand there. Yes. This one's a little bit easier. How many of you have ever seen a movie at the Admiral Theater? All right, give yourself a hand. This next one's a little trickier. How many of you came to the Portola or the Admiral on your first date? Yes. Yes. We've got several back here. All right. Okay, let's bring it up to a little more recent history, and there are some in here who will raise your hands to this. How many of you were with us on the night the Admiral Theater closed and were marching outside that theater the night of January 29, 1989? Would you please stand up? Stand up. There's several of you in there. Yes. Oh, several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. How many of you bought a Save the Admiral button or signed a Save the Admiral petition? Hands up. Yes. Look at half the crowd or more. Now, this is the easiest question of them all. How many of you are going to come back and see movies at the Admiral again after tonight? All right. Yes. Yes. Well, at this point in the program, we want to let you know where the money from the proceeds of this opening night first show is going to go to. And so I'm going to introduce Greg Herschel, who...
Thanks. I'm kind of wearing 3 hats here tonight. I was out beforehand with my microphone. I work for Cairo News Radio as a reporter. I live in the Admiral District, so I was out here protesting 3 years ago to reopen the Admiral. And I'm most proud, though, to be here as a board member on the West Seattle Helpline. More people have said in the last month, as they've heard about the reopening of the Admiral and heard that the owners were generous enough to let the opening night proceeds go to the helpline. What is the West Seattle Helpline, anyway? Maybe you've seen our little coin boxes in the grocery stores. Very quietly for the past 2.5 years, our organization, nonprofit organization, has been helping the less fortunate in West Seattle. We are all volunteer, we are nonprofit, we are all West Seattle residents helping the less fortunate in West Seattle. Whether it's with money for food, or doctor bills, or a ride to the doctor, or help around the house. We have a clothing bank for children. We're located right in front of the Admiral Thriftway store. And that's who we are. So your money tonight is enriching us and enriching West Seattle residents, and we deeply appreciate it. Our phone number is easy to remember if you'd like to help us or volunteer or find out more. The phone number is We2HELP, 932-HELP. And thank you tonight for helping us help West Seattle residents.
Okay, we're moving right along here. I'm going to hand the microphone to Deb Barker, who will be introducing the dignitaries who are kindly sharing their time with us tonight.
And thank all of you dignitaries types for coming. You know, there's people who you're about to meet are really vital to the preservation of the Admiral Theater, because without them there would be no Admiral Theater. You won't see all of them tonight because a lot of them, or some of them, are over in the other theater watching Women of the Year. Probably they'll hear us as we applaud, but we want to introduce them to you and give them a big hand because we owe them our deep, deep thanks. Tonight, let's see, we're going to ask those who are present in this auditorium to go ahead and stand, and when I call your names, and if you could remain standing. And I'm going to read quickly through this list because I know not all of you are here, but many of you saw Seattle Mayor Norm Rice help us launch the ship again, so thank you, Norm Rice. State Senator Phil Talmadge of West Seattle, whose leadership, advice, and action were unparalleled. And Phil, we couldn't have done it without you. I've got some candy for you. There will be no throwing candy in this theater. Phil Talmadge was thrown out of the Admiral twice, I believe, he has reported for throwing candy. We're going to give him another chance. State Senator Mike Eby of West Seattle. There you are. State Representative Georgette Valley, who also represents West Seattle. Georgette is next door. Let's give her a round of applause. King County Council Member Greg Nichols of West Seattle. Now, Phil and Mike and Georgette and Greg were all with us that night back in January 3 years ago that we all picketed. They've been with us all the way through. We thank them a lot. Seattle City Council Member Tom Weeks of West Seattle. Tom, are you here? Former Seattle City Council Member Dolores Sabonga. Her quick action early on got us funds to prepare the landmark nomination. They created this building and made it historic. Thank you, Dolores. Former Director of the Seattle Department of Community Development, David Mosley, also of West Seattle. David, are you here? The State's Deputy Historic Preservation Officer, David Hansen. And where did he grow up? West Seattle. Okay. David, are you here? The State's Historic Preservation, Seattle's Historic Preservation Officer, Karen Gordon. And we also have Landmarks Preservation Board Coordinator, Beth Shave. Both Beth and Karen have made this effort work from the very, very beginning. They are very, very familiar with the Admiral Theater. And there's a board or a large group of people who you will probably never get to meet, but the task force has spent a lot of time with them these past 3 years. That's the Seattle City Landmarks Preservation Board. Their unanimous action and their vigilance over these 3 years gave us the time to find a community-minded owner to go ahead and purchase the Admiral Theater. We've got the theater back. Please join me in thanking Harold Tobin, Ann Fennessy, Michael Murrah, Dennis Anderson, Todd Perbix, Jan Gleason. I hope you guys are standing if you're here, right? Okay. Murray McCumber, Don Brubeck, Charles Johnson, Brian Park, Susan Barley, Susan Burrell, Robert Weaver, Sam Combs, Toby Washington, Steve Kohler, David Strutfield, Walt Greisinger, Linda Larson, Horace Foxall, and Tom Hammond. Give him a big round of applause. There are some people who really took the big step. They're the heroes of this story. The 4 guys were only a dream to us just a few years ago, and now they're flesh and blood. They deserve our biggest round of applause of all. Please join me in welcoming the Admiral's new owners, Mark and Cecil Garton, and the Admiral's new operators, Jack Clark and Al Dabastani. Give them a big round of applause. A little bit about some exciting plans that we have with the Historical Society about the murals and about some of the features in the building. Lynn?
When you came in, we got souvenir postcards and bumper stickers and also a slip of paper that says Admiral Theater Restoration Fund. What we'd like to do as the Historical Society is use the proceeds from some sales of our buttons and from the sale of the posters that you saw in the lobby to create a restoration fund which would be administered by the Historical Society and would act as seed money, we hope, to attract more money, be available for matching grants from local jurisdictions and state government, and would hopefully attract people that would be interested in helping restore the fine murals that are on both auditorium walls and other features of the building. So that one day we can have the curtains come off and be able to see these things again and help the owners and operators make that possible. So if you can write a check or leave some money at the table as you're leaving for this restoration fund, that'll give us a good start. Thanks, and now I'll give it to Clay for a few closing comments.
Thank you, Lynn. Just a couple of technical details. Those of you who are in the back, come on up. There are spare seats up here. Secondly, when you're leaving the auditorium, please exit through the side doors. There's a second show in here, and the timing is very tight, and if it would help for the people who are coming in after you, for you to exit out the side doors. That is if you're not going back out to the lobby to leave a check, right? Okay. Or get some more free popcorn. Anyway, we want to leave you with a message related to the theme of tonight's celebration. You've seen it on the posters and elsewhere. The ship sails again. And this is a wonderfully historic occasion. It's full of joy and hope and possibility. And, you know, every ship can only be a good ship with a good crew. And this ship, the Admiral, the crew, is all of you here. It's West Seattle, and it's in all the area beyond. In fact, this community of West Seattle worked so hard to build this theater into a promising future. And that can happen, but only if all of you join in and support this theater. Now, the owners and the operators have poured their hearts and their pocketbooks into the Admiral. They're doing everything they can to make this a place that we want to come back to again and again. And our obligation as a community is to return the favor. And starting tomorrow night, when we've got an incredible 6 movies that are going to be playing this weekend right here, you've got the first chance. The key to this thing is we're not just preserving the past here. We're making history here. And we're making it come alive, and we're ensuring a future. And for all of those of you who drove past this theater and saw that old marquee out there, you've got to take heart in saying that's not all, folks. Thank you all for coming, and on with the show.
I get to see you in the light.
We can walk.
That's great.